Welcome to my YouTube channel, Rick Surowicz Watercolor. This video is one in a series of videos I'm doing of Christmas cards for 2020. I hope you enjoy this, and if you do enjoy my channel, be sure to subscribe by clicking on the icon in the lower right hand corner if you haven't already. And if you do like this video, be sure to like it and share it with others. This snowy winter scene is my 2020 Christmas card number 6. You can find the link for the template for this in the description of the video. Hi, this is Rick. I am back in my studio, and this is card number 6 out of the series of 2020 Christmas card videos that I'm doing. And this one I'm going to do some masking on. And in the background here, this has some tree trunks that are more in the middle and foreground with some long winter shadows and snowy ground. And then in the back is a wooded area. So I'm going to create a pattern of branches and tree trunks and just a variety of textures back here in between these larger tree trunk shapes that are more in the middle ground and foreground. I'll make some vertical lines here and there. I'll slant them a little bit, and I'll put in some branches just to create a texture back here. To suggest that there's all kinds of trees that don't have leaves. They're just branches and trunks of trees and saplings and briar bush and those types of things. So just creating a pattern to suggest that activity back here. And I'm using a fine line masking bottle. You can buy these commercially available. I fill them myself I buy a larger jar of masking fluid, and I just fill these quilling glue bottles. So some vertical, horizontal, or some diagonal. Just some curved and some lines, some straight lines, just a variety of textures and patterns here. So that'll give me the feeling of woods back here. And now on these trees, I'm going to create I'm going to mask off some of this area here just to make it feel like there's some snow that's built up and sticking to the side of the tree. I'll follow a few of those up the side. The snow's blowing on it. And that should be pretty good. Put a little here. There we go. And let me cap this. And next, I want this to be a snowy scene, so I'm going to splatter a little bit of masking fluid using a toothbrush that I've put a little soapy water in. So I'm just going to flick the bristles a little, tap it on my hand to create a little texture and make it feel like a snowy day here. And a little more, not too much. Alright, so now we're going to let that dry and then we'll begin to paint. Hi everybody, this is Rick. I am back in my studio, and this is the 6th Christmas card in my series of 2020 Christmas cards that I'm doing. And this is just a snowy winter scene with some trees and distant woods here and some long winter shadows. So I'm going to get started on this. I'm going to start with a little cerulean blue, just thin down. And then I'm going to start by painting in between these trees. This is where I put the texture of the branches. So this is going to be the sky coming down here. And then I'm going to take some earthy tones here to suggest some of the brush and the ground cover and everything that's there. So I'm going to add a little water to this because I want this to be wet and wet. I'm just leading it up to that blue. I just didn't want it as strong here towards the base. So a very simple wash. Now I'm going to pick up some of this excess moisture because all those branches and the patterns that I've made back here start to collect the water because gravity is trying to pull this down. You can get the template for this and all the other Christmas cards on the YouTube reference page of my on my website, surowicz.com. Alright, so now I'm going to take some quinacridone burnt orange, some royal blue, and I'm just going to drop some of that color in here, right down to the edge of the woods where the snow starts. The ground cover, the snow. Let's get a little more color here. And now I'm going to start to put some color in to the bottom. I'm going to bring it up. This is going to be at the base of the woods. So that is going to be the colors that I have in the wooded area. Now I'll take a cooler mixture and put it at the base. Alright, so now I want to dry this before I proceed. Alright, that's dry. I'm going to take a 1/2-inch flat brush. I'll take some of the quinacridone burnt orange and royal blue and keep a warm and a cool mixture. Now I'm just going to drop some of these trees in here using a 1/2-inch flat brush. So I'm using both warm and cool. Just not filling with little brushes here. I'm just making a brush stroke with my 1/2-inch flat brush here, then just leaving it. I might come back in and drop a warmer tone here or there, but I'm not doing a lot of little brush work. It's just very immediate when I put that brush stroke down. I think I still want to get a little bit darker value at the, just a middle value at the base of the woods. So a little darker there. All right, now actually I want to go a little darker on a few edges here of these trees. Let's go a little darker here. And watch the bottom that I have, make sure it makes sense as it comes into the snow. And I'm also going to take a rigger brush here and I'm going to make some more, just the suggestion of some trees here, some tree trunks and branches that overlap the masking that I did. So a few vertical lines, some a little curved. And I still want a little more of a, there we go. I'll go a little darker on a few of these just so they stand out from the woods. Too close in value. There we are. Alright, so let me dry this. Now I want to clean my palette. And I'm going to mix some snowy colors. I'm going to take some cobalt blue. Some rose madder, quinacridone. Some violet, some red violet. And my blue here. So I'm going to paint these shadows. So these shadows, they kind of roll and they follow the contour. I'm actually going to use my 1/2-inch flat brush. I'm going to do this because I can twist it and kind of make it. I can go wide, I can go narrow, I can follow the contours. And a little red violet in here. And these shadows will come out of the woods in all likelihood. Shadow here. Still want to follow a contour. The roll of the land. They're going to follow the roll of the land, so they're not just going to be straight. And I've put in a couple shadows here to make it look like there's some other trees off to the side. And I'm still not satisfied with the definition I'm getting on my tree, so I'm going to paint a little bit more, a little darker, a wider part of that. There's trees. Now let's dry that. Before I do, I'm going to take my fine mousse spray and I want to soften a few of these edges just a little bit to get some of that color to run. And then I'm going to just put a little more color down, because you're going to have some pockets of shadowed areas as you go across the snow where the roll of the land is. Alright, now let's dry that. Now I'll take off the masking fluid with my pickup eraser. So I have the patterns in the wooded area, and I have snow flying, the pattern of snow flying, but I want to tone down the area in the woods. So I'm going to glaze over those with just a kind of an earthy mixture here. What's on my palette, probably some royal blue and burnt orange. So that starts to push that area back. And make it feel like it's behind these trees that are more in the middle ground and foreground. Now I gotta dry this one more time. Take off my tape. I have my 1/8 inch border around this. I have some pencil marks there. I'm just going to get rid of those. And there we have a very simple Christmas card. And you can put the message inside. You can put Merry Christmas out here. I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoy the series of all these Christmas cards.